So about rejection and fear that other people won't value you, which is kind of rejection to me, is when you feel kind of worthless and people not responding to your gifts is like, for you, you interpret it as I'm unworthy, nobody values what I have to give. About this. So in Gene Keys, if you know it, you don't, or you don't, it doesn't matter. I have the vocation / core wound in the 4th line. So this is a theme in my life of rejection, like in the deepest wound of my being. But it's also the vocation. So these days I'm like confused, like, so this energy is like the most painful thing, but also the most good feeling there is. And like, so if I share something and I'm like focused on the pain of rejection, like the souls that are not into what I'm having to say, like I can tap into that and feel rejection if I want. But it's kind of a choice, yes and no. And so I asked for some guidance about the confusion about it. Also, when I share some of my light codes with someone and it's like they're liking it, it feels like 4th line good, like, oh man, I've been able to give someone something and it feels so great. But and then I'm like confused in my head, like, is this toxic? Because is it like feeding my feeling of unworthiness by proving the opposite because someone liked me? It gets so confusing. And so also when I was a teenager, my stepmother I remember this argument I have with her about her way of saying this is that when, like, it was about charity, when you're giving to other people and it makes you feel good about yourself, isn't that also selfish? Because I kind of said to her that not doing any charity is selfish. And I guess we're kind of both right. Truth can be so weirdly duality. Both things can be true at the same time, but the message I got now about the 4th line, because I've always felt guilty about when it feels good that I'm giving. Like my vocation, I think she kind of, well, she didn't, I took her words and I believed them, and it has always blocked my vocation because I thought when I feel good about helping, about not really helping, but about giving something good to another person, is selfish as well, because it makes me feel good. But I guess that brings me to the point of life, which is human life. This is a big question, but for me, it's like being a vessel for source to find itself again and to look at itself again, to experience itself. That's another point. but bear with me. If I'm giving to another person something good and it feels good, that is actually me doing what life is supposed to do. It's not about you're supposed to give to someone or you're not supposed to give to someone, because both can be right in different people. But if that makes me feel ecstatic, maybe it's me witnessing source. But this can also be some mental explanation for a toxic behavior. So I'm like, it's like endless loops. And wait, the message I got earlier was fourth line, giving to another being. If we're like giving to each other the light, the goodness, and this way together we can just exchange goodness. If we keep exchanging goodness from one another to another, our frequencies are gonna rise. And what frequency rising is actually source, which we all are source, moving closer to itself. And so what it is, what fourth line giving is, like the vocation or whatever, like the feeling of it feeling good is good if it's source moving closer to source. If it's a divine aligned interaction, it's good. And what they also told me is that like I'm like trying to get rid of this feeling of rejection and feeling unworthy, but it's not about that. I felt like I have to get rid of this feeling so I can feel the vocation. But actually, what source wants me to do is hold both feeling of rejection and feeling thankful for the good feeling of being able to give something good to someone. Goodness. Be in the middle, hold both, and just watch the play, but also I have some kind of free will in this, and so I can kind of point my arrow in some type of direction I kind of want to go and experience more. And so like, yeah, it's an experiment, and I'll talk about it later when I've experienced with it a bit more in life, but this just came to me. Okay, good luck.